Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me for another round of All Signs Shenanigans. This tarot reading, I would like to do the usual and focus on positive vibes. What kind of words of encouragement could you really use right about now for this very day, at this very moment when you found this video and all that good. Let's see what kind of mischief we can get into this time. Okie dokie, as per usual, I have already pre-shuffled, so we'll go ahead and begin with the archetypes, cutting the deck together into 3 parts, and the card is the Mirror. Interesting. I love this card because there's so much stippling happening. It's a word now. So we look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. That's really funny that the word trickster got thrown around with this. I had just, while I was pre-shuffling, especially my extra notes here that I like to bring out at the end, dude, shuffling, that was a chore. They were flying all over the place, and I was like, normally, once upon a time, I would have probably gotten really frustrated. And this round, it was just like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what? I clearly am on a mission. You shall not thwart me. All right, what about, let's see what else we can get from this with the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, fam. Like, it feels like treading the line between believing in oneself and getting lost in the sparkle in your own eyes, right? Loud plane overhead, eh? Okay. What is... there we go. Expectations. Don't seek anybody else's approval. You don't even need it. You don't even need it. People will always have their own expectations of who they think you should be. Their opinions are almost always based on restrictive societal norms and therefore are extremely unrealistic. No matter what they tell you, remember that you have permission to be whoever it is you most wish to be. You don't need anyone else's approval, only yours. You know what approval you received for living your life and being you? That is the only one that you really ever needed. Birth. Yeah, right? Look at this person. They're just vibing out, chilling on that rock. They got little fairies hanging out with them and shit. They look cozy. I love this card so much, right? I mean, maybe they're fairies. There's certainly balls of energy, and there's a fairy right there. So, yeah, I'm feeling like being comfortable in your own skin, being able to accept yourself, your present moment, recognizing that the past and hindsight and all that only has wisdom to offer at this point now, right? This is a whole new year. We've got a new set of ideals, new goals and whatnot, and just don't get lost in the sauce. Enjoy being cozy and know what works for you, right? Maybe we can get some clarification. I don't know. We'll find out. This is YouTube. Let's keep that mood light and cut the tarot deck, which I have a tendency to, it's a story either way. Hopefully with these videos, you're at least entertained. Okay. It's more of a vibe check from channel to channel on what kind of readers you enjoy hanging out with, right? So chapter 1 with the tarot is the Nine of Wands. This is a time for healing. Maybe you're recognizing again that you have things, having a safe space to be able to heal, to be able to process, right? And figure out where to go next, because the nines symbolize reaching the end of a chapter. This is the time to not give up. This is the time to stick to it, to really pull from the reserves and believe in yourself and know that you are in a space where your courage, your passions and creativity is really going to help you right now with that healing process, right? I mean, we've got all these wands with their new buds. It's like they're still attached to the earth, right? And they're like between this person and whatever the heck it is they're wary of. So that speaks to me of, and it's a blue sky back there, right? It's kind of like the worst is not only behind you, it's way the fuck back there. It's like way, way back there, right? And you have enough distance between then and the present to, you know, it's kind of like when a relationship ends and there are certain songs you never want to hear again, but then a decade goes by or whatever, and suddenly you hear it like at the grocery store or something because, okay, apparently we're that age, you know? And it doesn't affect you like it did the last time you heard that song, right? Because there's enough distance between. So whatever that could mean for you right now, right? Figuratively, it's feeling like that space between what caused all the damage, the trauma, the difficulties, and yet we're still healing, right? We've been getting into the nitty-gritty during all this time of transformation, and we're getting into the roots of it all. This is like important work, right? And this is a reminder that, like I said, we're nearing the end of a chapter, right? What's chapter 2? Let's see. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so let's make sure that we are honoring how far we've come. This has been a theme. This has been a theme for all of us, all signs, all that good. Like being able to look back and honor how far you've come, how much you've grown, how much you've healed, and been able to look at these painful moments, big or small or whatever the heck, and realizing it all really did matter. It all accumulated into the you that you are now, this evolved version of you, right? Your wisdom, your skills, the way you're able to handle yourself in a crowd, when public speaking, you know, whatnot, as it applies, right? And there are certain things that may not be working out and happening on a schedule that, you know, you thought maybe going on. It's like, what's happening here? Is this ever gonna come on? Let's go. I got life to live. I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like, this is a time to take a breather, right? Remember who the heck you are. Remember how far you've come, because you're capable of honoring how far you've come. You're capable of adapting and knowing rightfully when it's time for you to adapt and when you need to hold your ground, right? That give and take, that give and receive, that flow in the whole thing. And it's the Pentacles. The Pentacles are everything. The Pentacles are earth. They're what sustains you. They're what you've been focused on. So think it's either work or school or new skills that you're doing. There's something you've been building on that you've been putting time into. And you're like, hello? Like, they're supposed to, I Googled this shit. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, waiting for your delivery to finally frickin' arrive so you can enjoy it. But you've lost track somewhere along the way, and all the healing and the transformation, right? And it's time to really to realize, I think someone's delivering something to my mother right now, that it's time for you to you're at that point where you have all that distance and you can honor it. You can recognize how far you've come, how strong you are, how dedicated you are. You know, like that priority kind of vibe check. Right? What's chapter 3? Goodness, I'm babbling. Okie dokie, fam. We have the Two of Swords. So there's multiple things to go over here. We still, at least for this printing, have this blue sky going on. This one's a bit more white. And whenever I see white backgrounds, I think like blank canvases, right? Like it's not quite time to harvest. It's not quite the end of this particular chapter, paragraph. So with this card, I like to refer to the Two of Swords as like the never again card. That there are things you've learned just don't fit. They're not who you are, you know, and maybe there are things that you're kind of embarrassed about that you really wish you hadn't have done, but you've just don't go to the opposite extreme. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get hurt and it's like, well, I'm never doing that again. And it's like, whoa, that's a bit drastic, okay? Not to, with all due respect, I don't mean to make any assumptions or anything. I'm speaking in general terms for a collective reading, boosh. But you know what I mean? It's like, but there's a whole lot of in between and incredible things on that spectrum that if you just completely shut yourself off, right, that you miss out on. And you may think that that's what's right for you, that's what's best, and it almost feels like with the way everything else is going is that you're being given a heads up that it's not necessarily going to work like that anymore. You need to make a choice now, a different choice, because sitting on your butt and trying to impersonate an ostrich, enjoying themselves some sand all up in their face and shit, you know, is over. So just be very careful about how you handle your future, right? You've survived all of that. You've at the very least made it this far. Why honor your past and accept your present, knowing that you're allowed to be secure within yourself and safe and enact your spine, right? But you've also got an incredible future that's entirely possible, right? So make sure that you're not closing yourself off with that never again vibe. Know that you've gained the wisdom with those swords and that clarity with, if we're going to have a new beginning going on, right? To take the wisdom that enables you happiness and joy and manifestations, right? Whatever it is that you want to live, without it weighing you down anymore. Without continuing to guilt trip yourself for even having passions and things that you've been dedicating time to. In and of itself, that feels right for someone, that's for sure. What's chapter 4? The Four of Wands. Oh, I love that that's coming up now, because that's what we want, right? That's where we want to go from here. A time to celebrate, a time, this could be representing a marriage and like a union for people. Sure, I'll give you that. But it also represents community. Having people to celebrate with in the first place, right? Having a support system that you know you have every right to tap into. That's one of the reasons they're there, right? They're there for you. Just like we're all here for each other in theory, depending on the relationship, right? It also represents that, and we go from beautiful blue backgrounds or a blank canvas of a background to that golden dawn, that sunny, beautiful day. Like, they're all pretty days, considering this one's hinting at pain that we're healing from, as is this one. This one can really be kind of these two can kind of also go hand in hand with a little dash of burnout, right? Hence the reminder to take a breather, right? Sometimes we start working somewhere and we're giving it our all, and then that we realize like that's what's expected of us now at all times. I let them know that. Oh, I remember that the first time someone ever commented something about that to me, I was just like, I never even thought about doing less, right? When you're raised to be a bit of an overachiever and people pleaser and shit like that, it's like, wait, what? You can choose to just chill? What? And this is all leading up to that, right? This whole transformation, this being able to be comfortable in our skin without being stereotypical narcissist, right? What's going to come up underneath the Nine of Wands? The Knight of Cups, fam. Now that we've reached this point, this collective and I, it's like, because this one and the Knight of Pentacles, it's like they're not even actually moving. They're staying in the same spot. But this one, this horsey's prancing about a wee bit, right? And it's just like, see, they're coming, yes. And they're excited to see you. They're happy to see you because it's time to enjoy yourself again. Whether we're if we're talking about love, it always begins with ourselves, right? As far as our lives are concerned, darn tootin'. So in this healing process, in this transformation process, we're trying to get to a point in life where we're enjoying ourselves. That's what all of this hard work has been for. That's what all of these lessons learned and everything, that's what life is about, right? Sometimes it feels like utter torture. And sometimes it's like, oh, there we go, right? What's coming up underneath the Seven of Pentacles? I told you someone involved in this shit is a smartass today. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay. And there's a plane. Where shall we go next? I need to clear my throat for a quick second. That throat chakra, oh my God, talk amongst yourselves. Whew. Okay, thank you. Pardonnez-moi. So, this little shit here, pardon my language, but seriously, are you kidding? I'm looking down at these two mischievous, silly, incredible cards. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest one. When we talk about the knights and the pages, like bringing in messages and such, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest one. So either you still have like another year before certain things that you're working toward, or that's how long it has taken. And that's probably why you're so dang tired. And the fact that you're needing to be reminded to honor how far you've come, honor your diligence, your hard work. You know what I mean? That's been a big thing these days, especially with stuff with like Neville Goddard and Abdullah and the law of attraction, the law of assumption, the power of awareness, right? Is we forget the balance of it all. Being able to self-care and knowing that it doesn't take away from anyone else to take away from yourself. Or to take away, what the fuck am I saying? See, that's the problem with just going off the cuff. Sometimes you're just fumbling. This is something really, really, really important to you. And you're recognizing that this is like, we've seen things like the Hanged Man recently, haven't we? This has been a very particular time in life for so many of us. And it's taking as long as it's meant to take. I know that phrase and that kind of sentimentality can be really frustrating at times, but I feel like you understand what I mean because of that upswing. That's why I really do feel like for at least most of us, this is, speaking of more past tense, this has been in progress, right? This has been going on, and now we're at this point where we've reached them. And they're just sitting there either with a cup or with that pentacle going, well, here you go then. Now it's time for this, right? What's coming up underneath the Two of Swords? The Queen of Swords. Well done. Well freaking done. Reaching that point of being so secure within that wisdom and resilience. Being able to... As we have the Knight of Cups here, and there's water behind this person, right? Because it's kind of like with the wands, you need some air for that fire, right? But in order to create waves and stuff and a flow, we also still kind of need something going on like air and such to be able to move things around. So I feel like we have a good representation of that base, that foundation, but then also our passions and our creativities, our courage, that ability to work hard and survive it. Be an inspiration to others even when you don't realize it. And being able to go with the flow and it not losing yourself within it. It's like being a hermit up on the mountain, you know, going from the Eight of Cups to the Hermit to figuring that shit out. And so that when anything does happen that is even remotely similar to the crap that once hurt you, it's just not affecting you the same. It's not able to. And another plane, and I feel like that's just, again, it still feels very much so like it's a reminder, it's a confirmation, like there's no new news, and that's still good news because you're still doing the work. You're still doing what you need to be doing. You're still healing and giving yourself that space to heal. And the further you go, the more you're evolving and able to focus on different things and have different epiphanies, right? What's underneath the Four of Wands? The freaking Eight of Wands and another blue sky. So this can be spontaneous. It's these two together. It's those freaking two together, fam. Hey, right? That can be really incredible news coming in hot. Again, now that we've reached them, and remember, there's some excitement going on here, right? Because that's totally what I see in my mind with that Knight of Cups, is that horse just sitting there prancing around, knowing exactly how beautiful they are and strong and all that shit. And it's like, boosh, you know what I mean? So all of your hard work, maybe there's something that you've really been devoting time into and it just hasn't financially paid off yet, right? Keep going. Whatever it is, keep going. Again, adapt as you need to. You know exactly how to do it. And don't worry, it may not be harvest time yet, but you're almost there. What's the epilogue to the story? The Nine of Swords. That's 2 nines. But this speaks of pain, actual pain. And that's 3 swords in the mix, speaking of how it has affected your mind and your confidence and such has taken a hit at times. But it's like we're in the aftermath, fam. We're in the aftermath as phoenixes dusting ashes off of our wings, moving on. So the Swords of Decor, you have no one to fight anymore. You've got the Six of Cups on the bottom of this tarot deck, which to me represents the main gist of the vibe for the reading. And that's feeling young again, having this life to you. Either it's your inner child being healed, healing, able to thrive, feeling more like yourself than you have since you were young, right? But always remember that there's a guard back there. So that brings us right back around to this. This is, you're safe to heal. Oh my goodness. Underneath that is the 10 of freaking wands. And then the 4 of swords. Yep. So we're completing this. Whether you believe it or not, whether you're having difficulty, there are things that haven't even happened yet. So you can't make up your mind already. Okay? Don't make assumptions anymore. Enjoy the flow of life. Get all of that crap that's been torturing you inside your own head that people don't even know about and just boot it right on out and do what so many of us have been talking about for a while now. Reprogram your subconscious to be nice to you. Okay? What are the extra notes to this incredible reading? Ended up going, I don't know why I just did that when I already pre-shuffled, but apparently I want to shuffle again. Going a bit longer than I intended, so thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get a bit quicker at this, but sometimes I just struggle to get the vibe going, or to put words to it. You know what I mean? Okay. And be open to receive. Hey, that's a good card. And I love synchronicities. We got the 1111 card, so that's a good time to be having that out there. So when I think of synchronicities, when I see synchronicities, things like numbers or a song coming on at a particular time, or like when you're talking with someone and like the TV or a song or something says the exact same thing that you just said or whatever the heck, those types of synchronicities are so much fun. But I like to think of them as like a thumbs up from the universe, like keep going. It's encouragement either way, and that's exactly what this channel is here for. So make sure that in your healing journey, and you're learning to be comfortable in your own skin and looking yourself in the eye in the mirror, remembering that you don't need approval from anyone else but yourself, and you receive the main approval upon birth. So just freaking live, all right? Your mind and your spirit, that fire within you, are healing, and it's working. The things that you're doing to work on this are working. So just make sure that you don't get lost in the sauce, that you don't carry that never again energy so deep that you block yourself up. Make sure that you are open to receive, okay? Especially anything involving your heart. On the bottom of the extra notes is this is different for everyone. It looks different for everyone, okay? Stop the comparisons and accept yourself, all right? Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I really appreciate the company. I really do. And always remember that I love you.